Welcome back to another episode of the Course Creation Incubator. I'm Gina Onativia, your course coach, digital strategist, your bulldog, here to help you get your course, your workshop, your live cohort, whatever it is that you're working on to put yourself out there in a bigger way, done. I'm here to push you, to inspire you, and hopefully help you take a little bit of action at the end of the day after listening to this podcast. And today I've got a special treat. It's been a while since I had a guest on this podcast. You guys know I love doing the workshop episodes, but today I've got a dear, dear friend, digital strategist Ruth Shelling on the podcast. And I'm going to talk about why Ruth is such a dear friend to me. She's the ultimate sounding board for me. And she's going to talk about why the longevity market, 50 plus, is one of the greatest opportunities out there for us as course creators, entrepreneurs, and business owners right now. Can't wait to hear Ruth talk about all the things longevity. And before we dive in, this episode is brought to you by our Done For You services. So we offer course creation, marketing, website development, brand development with a hands-on, highly custom approach. If you're interested in working with us, go to coursecreationboutique.com/course. You do a quick application, we book a call, we chat things through. We only take a couple of clients each quarter. We're booking out a few months ahead right now. Would love to work with you, would love to chat you up. So I wanted Ruth on because she's one of the best marketers I know. And I first met Ruth, this might be back in 2018, when Bo Eason, NFL standout, speaker, storyteller, and trainer. I talk about Bo all the time on this podcast because he's a mentor and a friend and a client. Bo was putting out his book, his 8-time best-selling book, There's No Plan B for Your A Game. And Bo and Dawn hired an incredible marketing agency called TMD, and Ruth was one of the folks at the helm. And I remember just seeing this striking Australian at the meetings just take charge like a boss. And she was so intelligent, so smooth, so just effortless. And I thought to myself, I've got to get to know this lady. And lucky me, I have gotten to work really closely with Ruth over the years, working on different book marketing campaigns. And Ruth herself is a legend in terms of she's worked with Hillary Clinton on her book, McKinsey and Company, Franklin Covey, Liz Weissman, Dr. Becky. So think of a big name in publishing. Ruth's probably worked with them. She is a absolute rock star. And now she's become an expert in this longevity market and is passionate about that. And when Ruth is an expert in something, no one is better at it than her. I know I'm really hyping this up, but she's that good. There's a reason why I trust her to be my sounding board, the person I go to when I need to spitball ideas, when I'm stuck with a campaign, because she is the best. And I've wanted her on the podcast forever, and now we finally got her. So I'm going to shut up so she can talk about the longevity market and what she's seeing today and where you and I can find all the opportunities in terms of students, clients, customers, because it's there. And this is an opportunity that not a lot of people are taking advantage of. So this is ours for the taking. So I'm going to shut up and bring Ruth on. Ruth, this is way overdue. I've wanted you on the podcast forever. Welcome to the show.
5,000 years ago. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And, it is a pleasure to be on with the fabulous Gina, who is not just a brilliant course creator herself, but also a fabulous podcast host, global digital strategist. It's my honor to be here today.
Oh my gosh, the check is in the mail.
Thank you.
Now,
hope it's a big one.
We could have talked about many different topics. I just want to
what do we talk about? So many things. Yes.
So many things. However, your new thing, your platform, your new platform is this longevity space. And hot topic. And not enough people are talking about it, but now that you're talking about it, the conversation has started. So first and foremost, tell me why we should be talking about the longevity space.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? So when you think about longevity, I think sometimes the first thing that comes to our mind is healthcare and, living past we're 100 and all those types of things. But when I think about longevity, and when we think about it as marketers, we're really thinking about it. It's a global movement. It's kind of like a cultural shift that is taking place in marketing at the moment. And the reason why this is wild, are you ready for this? In the 50 plus, this 50 plus demographic makes up a third of our population, not just in
Mm.
America, but in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think the figure is of marketers and advertising speaking to that demographic? A
Oh
third
my
of our
gosh.
population.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
what do you think?
it's close to 0 or like less than
Well, you're
less than
close.
10%.
Yes, you are right. So
Okay.
4 to 5% of our marketing
Oof. That's terrible.
is shocking,
Oh,
right?
so bad.
Makes up a third of our population. So listen, I love a little bit of a stats. I'm going to throw some stats. If the 50 plus population in the US was its own country, it would be the third largest economy in the world.
Wow.
Think about that, right?
Wow.
Yet
Yes.
less than 5% of our advertising and marketing is speaking to them. Okay. So, and the same story is playing out in Australia. So, this is a global thing, right? So, it's time businesses really need to, and marketers as well, we really need to start changing the way we think about marketing to this demographic. There's money being left on the table. Marketers have got lots of things that they could be doing to target this, incredible, lucrative audience, but they're just not. And why do we think that is?
Yeah, why? Why have we been ignoring
Ageism,
that? Ageism,
ageism.
hello,
It
right?
is like rife, right? So unless you're, under 50, you're not worth talking about. That's what, has been put out there, the message that's kind of streamed through. Marketers are obsessed with the younger generation. The other thing too, which is really interesting, is like back in my day, I'm aging myself here, but
We're the
when
same
we're
age,
the
just
same
so
age.
everybody
We're very
knows.
young. We're very young. We're young and free. Back in my day, when I started my marketing career almost 30 years ago, right? You wanted to get the younger demographic, from a young age, right? And then you take them through the brand journey all the way through. And there's this beautiful thing that we used to call brand loyalty. Those days are gone. And so now we see that the 50 plus demographic are reshaping the way we think. They're no longer brand loyal, they're quite fluid, and they will go to brands that speak their language. That people that look like them are being used in advertising. So, there's a real shift and an awakening that hasn't taken place in marketers because of that. Like it's kind of been happening, but we haven't paid attention to it. And so now we're in this conundrum where it's like, how is it that only 4 to 5% of our advertising, is targeting and marketing is targeting this demographic? So I heard a stat, and don't quote me, but I'm just going to go with it. So in 4 years, millennials are going to be turning 50 and they're
Ah,
going to be entering the 50 plus demographic. Think about that
mm,
for a second, because they've also been like a mass, it's not just the boomers that have been incredible in changing the conversation, but the millennials have been incredible. So they're going to enter the 50 plus demographic. And if marketers don't get on board with targeting them, they're going to be left behind. AI. We know AI is everywhere. It's rapid pace. It's moving like this. But we also need to be thinking about this cultural shift that's taking place in society right now.
okay, I love this. And I didn't ask
Mm,
you this beforehand, so take a
yes.
minute.
Okay.
Why are you so passionate about this? You can do so many things. Like you are
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
greatest
yeah. It's interesting.
marketers I know, one of the best brand
You're
marketers
sweet.
inside and out. What you I've never seen you so electrified. Or I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
why
I
does
get
this
it.
light you
Yeah.
up so much?
Well, I had an epiphany actually, a couple of months ago. I was like, why, like, what is it that, I'm getting to that age myself. And I'm like, what kind of legacy do I want to leave for my children and for my friends and family? And I started thinking, I was like, there's a real gap in the market for, someone who's passionate about this, who has a lot of experience in marketing and brand. And I thought, wow, why can't I be kind of a spokesperson or a thought leader in this space to help change, not just change the way we do marketing, but actually start a little bit of like I think revolution is overused, but start to spark curiosity in other marketers and other people in my kind of peer group, right? And colleagues. And it's like, we need to change this. We need to change the conversation. And we need to make sure that, we're we're not only going where the money is, right? And we're not only speaking to this demographic, but so that 50+ year olds aren't being left out of conversations, that they still have a seat at the table, because what that they're just getting started. Like, this is how I feel,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, I've had a 30-year career, but
Yeah.
I'm just getting started. I'm
Of
like, oh,
course. I feel
I've
the
had this,
same way.
like, yes,
Yeah.
right. And there's so many things where we're just like, I started to experience it myself. I was like, wow, this is interesting. Like, it's like, we're not, like, oh, you're getting older, or all this kind of stuff. I'm like, no way. I'm getting started. I'm young, vibrant, traveling the world, climbing mountains, biking with my kids, doing all those kinds of things. And I started thinking, well, who else is doing this sort of thing? And I looked around, and, people that I admire and respect are in their 70s, and they're fitter than I am.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're living these great big lives, but they're not being represented in workplace, in media, in the way we speak to them, or anything like that. So that's how I kind of came onto
Ah,
it.
so good. So good. Okay,
So fun.
we're not just here to talk about the challenge though and the stats. We're here to
No,
talk about
no,
solutions,
no, no.
right?
Let
How
me
do
give you
we
some stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
give me some stuff so we can
Yeah.
solve this. How do we
So I'm
fix it?
starting to, and I think, we all need to come together on this, right? As
Yeah.
marketers. And I think there's a couple of things. I've got like six kind of key ways we can kind of help work together and change it. But let me just say this, like, it's not a niche. The 50+ demographic is not a niche. Okay. It is the engine of our economy. Okay. And the other thing
Okay.
too is that I believe that the brands that will win in the next decade are those that stop chasing youth and start chasing relevance.
Ooh,
Right?
I love
We got to
that.
stop chasing youth, and let's start chasing the relevance, and stop putting an age to everything. But it's so that's kind of all right. So, what do we think? Okay. Number one, we got to start by helping educate and shift the mindset. Okay. This it's not a senior audience. It is the most powerful, curious generation in modern history. That's what we're seeing. Okay. And remember the stat I told you earlier, millennials are going to be 50 in 4 years. Like, this is crazy to think about this, right? We're an aging population. They're digitally savvy, they're confident,
Mhm.
they're living their lives. Change our mindset. They're not slowing down, they're leveling up. That's
Ooh,
what we want to kind of,
love
right?
it. Yes.
The second thing is, let's represent them authentically. So, how many times, like, where I live, right? There's a few retirement villages. Hilarious, because my husband's over 50. And I'm like, oh, darling, I could just pop you in the retirement village and go and visit you, right? We have this kind of in-house joke. But it's 50+ to go to these retirement villages. Hilarious. We've got young children in our 50, like, that's crazy
Nice.
to me. But the imagery is like walking hand in hand on the beach, gray hair, like going to my desk, that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
Slowing down, like you're saying,
slowing
it's
down,
not
like,
leveling up for
it's
sure.
not leveling up. And
Yeah.
so I've started to actually take snapshots. It's really funny. My husband's like, do you have to take another photo of another billboard? I'm like, it's just crazy. I can't see any representation that's authentic to this age group. Right. So, feature people with energy, style, humor, like dressing perfectly or not perfectly, like running marathons, like
Ah,
sweating,
New York City
like,
Marathon. I saw that. I've been reading all the stories because it just happened
oh,
yesterday. This
I
guy,
know, amazing.
74-year-old, ran the first
Oh,
marathon, did
that's
great.
going to be me. I want to be in my
Oh, I
70s
want to be
running in New
that.
York City.
Yes, 100%.
I'll be
Love
like, I
those
can do
stories.
this. I could do this. I love it. And so, and this is the other thing. 3 out of the 4 50+ demographic, this is important. They really want, if they have authentic representation, it increases the buying power, right? So if they
Mhm.
feel like, they will switch brands based on imagery, even if the product doesn't work.
Yeah,
So it's a skincare product. They're like, we don't want anti-aging. We want pro-aging. We
yeah.
want people looking like us. So
Mhm.
that's cool. All right. The other thing too is number 3, craft the messaging around empowerment, right?
Mm.
So let's talk about value, relevance. We don't need to talk about the years. We don't even me just saying the 50+ demographic, right? I'm still trying to work around that in the fact that we have to even speak about the age. We don't want to do that. We want to focus on, like, relevance, growth, wellness, travel experiences. We don't want this anti-aging stuff anymore. We want to be 50 is not the new, 40. 50 is
Mm-hmm.
50, 60 is 60. We're happy to be those ages. Let's celebrate it. So that's that.
Okay, love
All
it.
right, number 4, let's meet them where they're at.
Okay,
So,
what do you
you
mean?
know, so we have, we put these marketing messages in places for this demographic. Not only are we not representing them, the content doesn't speak to them, right? We're not even speaking their language, but we're also not putting the ads or the marketing material in places that they are. Like a lot of them are on Facebook, they are on TikTok,
Mm.
believe it or not. They are on Pinterest, but they're also in print. They also want to be, they do like to have that tactile and read magazines and things like that. So, why particularly with media agencies, they're young, so they're putting them all in these, Google ads and like, which is also important. But then they're not thinking, oh, where else are they? So let's make sure we meet them where they're at.
Okay.
Storytelling, education, all those kind of stuff. And the other thing I'll say is no cliches, no gimmicks, no,
Mm.
all that. We don't want any of that stuff. Okay, the other one, I'm up to 5, right? Did I get to
Yes,
5?
you're on
No,
five.
up to 5.
Yes.
All right. We want to co-create with them. Let's build with them. Let's let them have a seat at the table. How many times do we not hear what our audience wants? We just think, oh, we put our kind of perspective on something and we market to them. It's like, no, let's ask them to have a seat at the table, co-create with us, let them have a voice, an opinion. This is their demographic after all, and they are the powerful ones leading it. So we should actually be inviting them to have a seat at the table. That's kind of a huge thing.
How do we
Especially,
invite them to have a seat at the table? Do
oh,
we oh I'm asking the tough questions here.
yeah, it's a good one. I've got some ideas. I won't reveal my ideas yet, but I will tell you this. I feel like, particularly in media agencies, often we dismiss the older, oh, they don't, oh gosh, they don't even know how to use a computer or they don't know how to do this. I think we need to have much more age diversity in media agencies across the board or marketing
Okay.
agencies across the
Mm-hmm.
board. Right. So,
Yeah.
and they don't have to be full time or whatever, but they need to be invited in on those important conversations. If you're launching a campaign, bring them to the table and go, hey, this is what we're thinking. This is the creative, this is the content, this is where we're going to place the ads or brand or whatever we're doing. What do you think?
Yeah.
Get their opinion. Let them have a differing opinion to you because we don't know, we don't have all the answers. We think we do, but we don't. Um, does that answer your question?
Yes, kind of, but
Good.
good.
Good. I've got some more things on that. The other thing too, this is crazy. Wait for it. Women 50 plus control up to 2/3 of household spending
Yes.
and are set
Yes.
to inherit the majority of intergenerational wealth. Let that just sink in for a second.
Yes.
So, how are we speaking to women?
How are we speaking to women?
After 50, we feel forgotten, right? We've done a good job over the years, not perfect, but a good job in like different body shapes and showing diversity in that way. But we haven't done a good job in showing diversity in age and speaking to women where we need to be met. So that's kind of um, this kind of flows on. The sixth one flows on from what I just said earlier, right? Is we need to rethink our creative and media teams. We can't just, how can we expect, 35 and under, like they don't know what they don't know. So how can we expect them to come up with a campaign for the 50 plus demographic? Of
Yeah.
course, they're always going, I saw this, and you and I've worked on the same sort of clients. So, when we were looking for stock imagery or even videos or something in that demographic for products you and I've marketed on, combined marketing efforts on in the past, there's nothing around. We
No,
can't.
there's nothing. And the creative some of the creative team members will pull out all these people with gray hair, right? They like
Yes,
have
because they're in their
canes and
30s.
walkers.
The walkers are like walkers. Like what?
Like what?
Well,
But
this is not. And you and I were the only ones kind of going, "Hey guys, we need to
hey,
think.
they
Hey,
should look kind of like us.
yeah, we want
Yeah.
it to be kind of cool because you and I are so cool."
I mean,
Um, Fabulous, let's be honest. So, so we need to rethink that. And that doesn't mean, the 35 and under has nothing to say. We need them as well. We just
Yeah.
need to make sure that we have more age diversity, more representation behind the scenes or when we're making creative decisions, I think. That's kind of so they're my six. I don't know. We're on
Outstanding.
this journey. I'm on the start of this journey. It's very exciting.
I feel this right now because I announced on the podcast, gosh, last week or two episodes ago, I'm gonna run my first half marathon next year. I haven't even told you yet.
Oh, I'm
And
so excited.
I'm doing
Where are you
research right
doing it?
now. I'm gonna do it on the beach in the bay here in San
Oh,
Diego. It's gonna be
I'll have to come
gorgeous
and
and
cheer you
flat.
on.
I would love it. I would love it. You should come.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
But I'm looking for guides for women over 40, women over
Hmm.
45, right?
Yeah.
How to run with perimenopause happening, right? How to
Yes.
run when
Yes.
like you're tired. And I'm looking for
Brain fog
information
and
for
hot
me,
flushes.
right? Brain fog.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
is tough. It is
Mm,
tough, Ruth, and
yeah.
I'm begging to be marketed to.
Yes.
And
You hit the nail on the head, right? We are begging to be marketed to as we go. And I think this is the other thing that makes me so passionate about this, right? There's a lot of stuff with perimenopause coming through the ranks, and we're talking about it more. But to coincide with that, we're also not talking about like the rest of the things. So just like you said, we're begging to be marketed to. I want to know what skincare works in perimenopause at
right.
my age.
Yes.
Like it didn't work. My skincare doesn't work anymore. I want to know, or I want to know what to do with my hair now.
Yep.
Or I want to know how to apply makeup now that I'm in a different age demographic.
Oh, I get
there's
targeted
none
for
of that.
that all the time on
Yeah,
Instagram.
but
I
not
get
your
targeted.
age group, I bet you.
No, I do. Allison
Are
Hannigan
you
from
okay? All right. All right, we got
Duffy
you.
wants to show me, and then she wants to sell me a neck cream all the time. So, but so I think we're doing better on
Influences,
some of
right?
that. Yeah, influencers, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
But
would say Australia's behind the eight ball, 100%. Like the terminology I hear all the time is like, "Oh, I'm too old for that." I'm like, "You're 52.
mm,
What do you mean you're too old for that?"
oh,
What?
we have to get
What? Yeah, we got to wipe that out.
the
We
wipe
are
that
not too
out.
old for anything.
Yeah, no,
Anyway, yeah,
better than ever.
that's something.
Uh,
I know.
okay. Tell me before we wrap up, baby steps. Like I
Yes,
love these one thing I can do to get started as a
yeah,
marketer, right? As a course
yeah,
creator, as an entrepreneur. That maybe it's an
yes.
awareness piece, and then what do you say is like the first baby
Yeah,
step?
I think too, particularly in your business, right, is when people are creating courses and things like that, be very clear on who your demographic is for the course, obviously.
Yes. Yes.
Clarity is key in all of that. And if you are targeting, a wide kind of spectrum of ages, just make sure that you're actually speaking to, you take kind of your own glasses off, right? And you go, hang on a second, I'm 25 or I'm 30 or whatever it is. Take that out and go, okay, am I actually speaking the language that, needs to be spoken to this demographic, and do your research. But the number one thing I'd say is it's a mindset shift. We need to just change the way we think about 50 plus, and even forget 50 plus for a second. Let's talk about 60, 70 plus. We need to
Mm.
kind of, I've probably done it myself, let's be honest, but like, oh, God, I don't know how to use a Google Drive. Oh, so frustrating. We need to change all of that
Yeah.
and realize that, this is a powerful, like, demographic. If you're not targeting them and if you're not connecting with them authentically, you're going to miss out on a lot of money for your clients, for yourself. And it's not even just about money, it's actually about just being a decent human. Like, let's just change ageism and the way we think about it.
Well, what I love about where you're talking here too, you might be listening and building out a course or workshop, a live
Yeah.
cohort. And a lot of times I get people who want to target like a big range, like
Yes.
35 to 65. It's like,
You're like,
let that,
oh,
you can let that
yeah.
go. You can,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can slant older and you might be
Hmm.
better off in terms
Yeah.
of going after that market. Don't be afraid. Test it.
100%.
Test it,
Yeah.
right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
I
so
think,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think too, the other thing too is that it's like I said, it isn't a small segment anymore. And I think we
Yes.
always want to go for the young, fresh in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now we need to go, it's actually the engine of our economy. And we need to think about how is that going to impact our business, and how is that going to impact the way we do life. And if we're not targeting, I mean, again, 4 to 5%, they're a third of our population. Like, there's a real niche there, right? And imagine the impact we can have if we start to just shift this, even slightly start to shift it.
Yeah.
Like you said, baby steps. Imagine the impact you could have on your business if you started to do that.
Ah,
Wild,
wow.
wild.
So good. Take a chance.
So good.
Take a leap.
Yeah,
Uh,
take a look. Okay,
Ruth, this has been amazing. If we
big.
want
Love speaking with you.
to learn more about you and what you do, where should we go?
Active on LinkedIn, so look me up. I am based in Australia, New York, LA, all over, but based in Australia. So look me up on LinkedIn. I also have a company called Distilled Digital Code. I don't know the meaning behind Distilled Digital Code.
Give us a
Let
little
me give
scoop
you a
on that.
little
Yeah,
little scoop.
little detail.
So let's see. So 30 years of marketing expertise, global brands, all that jazz, all the noise, all the mistakes, all the fun, distilled down into the purest essence. So you don't
Ah,
get rubbish. You get precision and clarity.
so good.
And also, I like to drink wine, so let's not,
Let's not
dismiss that.
discount that.
So distilleddigitalco.com is also where you can find me. And also you can find me next to Gina often, because we work so closely on
We
many
do.
brands,
On many brands.
because she's so fabulous. So anyway, that's where you find me.
Well, love your work. Thank you.
Love your work.
Thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.
What did you think of Ruth? She really brings the goods, right? If you want to follow up with Ruth, go to distilleddigitalceo.com to learn more, or check her out on LinkedIn. And if this episode has made an impact on you in any way, would love for you to leave me a review. And until next week, go create, be you and be